Mrs. Swanson here with today's lesson, two-step algebraic equations. So far we've been looking at equations like this where you're just dealing with adding, subtracting, multiply, or divide, just one simple step. But now we're going to move on to a bit more of an advanced problem. Here we have 3y plus 2 equals 17. So notice we have some addition going on and some multiplication here with our letter right next to our variable. Don't let the two steps freak you out. You're still doing the same processes you've done before. And let's break that down. The first thing you're going to do is get rid of adding and subtracting. I'm going to still draw my line here at the equal sign to show that whatever I do on one side, I'll do on the other. So we're working backwards with our order of operations, getting rid of adding and subtracting first. We added a 2, so now we need to subtract that 2, of course from both sides, which means that these cancel out here, and I'm left with a 15 on the right side. This is when it's important to make sure you're showing your work, and I would take the next step to rewrite the problem. So I bring down what I had up there, 3y, and then on the right side we still have 15. So 3y equals 15. This problem should look more manageable and closer to what you've been doing. Now we have a one-step problem. And our third step of getting rid of our multiply and divide. Here I know I'm multiplying, so I'm going to show that I'm dividing by 3 on both sides. And our fourth step is simply to solve the problem. So what is 15 divided by 3? 5. Y equals 5. We still want to make sure that we're checking our work. So if I plug this 5 back into my problem, I would have 3 times 5 plus 2 equals 17. So 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 is 17, so that checks. 17 equals 17. Let's work through another one on our two-step equations. Again, I'm going to draw my line down the middle. I have our first step written over here, get rid of adding or subtracting. I have a minus 4, so I'm going to add 4 to have those cancel out, and of course if I do it to one side, I'm always going to do it to the other. This is where I would rewrite the problem. So I bring down what's left over here, y over 4, and then when I add 16 plus 4, we get 20. Now I'm going to get my variable by itself. Here I'm dividing. Anytime you see a fraction like this, that means divide. So to get rid of division, I know that I multiply so that those cross out, and over here, 20 times 4. Which is my last step of solving. So we have y equals 20 times 4 is 80. My fifth step would be my check. So I fill in 80 for y, 80 divided by 4 minus 4, to see if that will equal 16. 80 divided by 4 is 20, minus 4 is 16. So 16 equals 16. It checks. Go ahead and try these example problems on your own. Pause the video and press play when you're ready to check your work. So here we have y divided by 6 plus 2 equals 8. My first step, I'm going to get rid of addition on both sides. Rewrite my problem by bringing down y over 6, subtracting over here to get 6, then get rid of division by multiplying. Those cancel. This equals 36, so y equals 36. For this problem, 4x minus 5, I'm going to get rid of subtraction by adding. Rewrite my problem, so I bring down my 4x. I add 11 and 5 to get 16. And then the inverse operation of multiply is divide, so I'm going to divide here by 4 and get a final answer of 4. Make sure you check your work. I'm not going to show that here for these examples, but that's always how you can know if you have the answer correct or not. Here's the steps for solving two-step equations. Remember just to use examples when you find problems that look similar. It can be complicated and confusing, but just take it one step at a time and use what you know. You've got this. That's all for this lesson. Thanks for studying with Swanson.